Welcome to week 2 of RSFFL Live. I'm your co-host, Robert Harris.
And I'm Quincy Avery.
All right, nice to see you again.
Always a pleasure.
First thing, I want to congratulate you on your victory this week.
I needed it. Monkey on my back, had to get him off.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you need is one. You know, get a little snowball effect. And I won my first game as well. I'm very excited to get the season rolling. But guys, it was a great week last week. Very great week. I mean, we had 7 guys over 100 points last week.
Wow.
I mean, 7 out of 12 guys.
That's impressive.
A couple of guys not so well, but we'll get into that later. But great week. And also, I mean, the phone lines are open. We got a big trade that just happened, I believe, yesterday. Blockbuster. I mean, we got Team Wood Paws and All Aboard had a blockbuster trade. We had All Aboard ship Matt Forte, injured Matt Forte, and Anquan Bolden.
Yeah.
No, excuse me, and Victor Cruz. And Victor, that's a big, I mean, that's obviously the big piece of that trade. Well, Matt Forte could be huge when he gets healthy.
Yeah, I mean, I think Team Wood really, they're in a desperate position right now, willing to do anything.
Had a couple of injuries, but luckily they did get a victory early that, can buy them a little bit more time. And then Team Wood Paul shipped out LaShawn McCoy. I mean, good gracious.
That's a top 5 pick.
So essentially now, All Aboard went from originally the 11th pick to having LaShawn McCoy, and he had someone else he drafted late in the first round. So All Aboard's making good moves. Big moves.
I can't knock them, although I would never do a trade with those guys.
I understand you guys have some data going on, and also Team Wood Paul shipped Anquan Bolden, so that he might step up later on in the season. But that was a great first week, guys. Great second week. Look forward to this week 3. We'll kick it off to our next segment.
Oh, can't forget our lovely sponsors, Lowry's. Like to say thank you. They saw some real animosity, some saltiness after last week's show.
There's some guys not happy with
last
show.
Yeah,
right.
Salty.
And so they decided to jump on board and become a sponsor. We'd like to thank you. And also, from Bud Light Lime, we got Limeritas. All right? You guys, this Bud's for you. All right? Excuse me for being early, but on to our next segment. We got the Cellar Dwellers.
Cellar Dwellers.
Go ahead.
Cellar Dwellers is going to be an interesting topic this week. We had Team Wood. They were a little decimated by injury. We would hate to use that as an excuse. Football's a contact sport.
It's a contact sport.
You're going to lose some guys, okay?
Right.
But when you go out there and you go ahead and put up 61 points, that's laughable. It really is laughable.
I mean, considering, I know you get into this, but I believe that Cam Bam, thank you ma'am, or whatever his team's name is.
137.
But he had a guy who scored
0. He went over.
I don't think you really use it.
Went over. So that means Team Wood can play 2 times and let Wham Bam think he can't play once.
Wow.
That skill get beat. And then we got our first repeat. We got our first repeat offender, boss of all bosses. They continue to stink it up. It's really disappointing. If you're looking to find a bright spot in his roster, keep looking. You're not gonna find one. From their coaching to their playing to their players' inability to stay out of the jailhouse. He's got a franchise in shambles.
He's got some issues going on over there. Hey, boss, good luck. Keep your head up. All right, that's one thing. Keep your head up. I mean, it's still early. Only 2 games in. We hadn't heard from you since maybe Saturday night.
I'm worried about him.
Yeah. We would like to hear from you. Say something in the chat once you see the show. Right?
Maybe change your name. Player in the playpen, a guy trying to get a win, anything. Crack 75 points. Once you do that, you can maybe go back to boss or something, but you're not the boss of anything at this point. We also want to give a shout out to the High Flyer.
Oh, man. Second week. Not second week in a row, but...
Yeah, he's been a top performer on a daily basis. I'll drink to that. Wham Bam Cam, 137 points. Even with the shortcomings of a 0-pointer.
There's nothing you can say negative about his performance. There's nothing you can say negative about his performance. The crazy thing about it, he was 2 points away from
a loss.
Not a loss.
Yeah.
So shout out to Houston Hustlers. I don't know if you're going to shout him out.
Houston Hustlers is playing ball.
Shout out to him.
Short in the stick 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
You've caught some guys A game. Okay?
But congratulations once again to Wham Bam. Thank you, Cam. You're off to a phenomenal start. Phenomenal start. Houston Hustlers, shout out to you as well. And now we're going to get into, just real quick, we're going to each pick our game of the week. Who do you think is the marquee matchup this week?
Marquee matchup for me is Coaches Cadets for the Houston Hustlers. That should be a great game. Houston Hustlers been putting up a lot of points. Coach Cadets a strong team, so I look forward to that matchup.
All right, we'll get into that a little later as far as breaking it down. My game of the week is going to be ground and pound versus Wham Bam. Thank you, Cam. I mean, you proved last week that your team is a worthy opponent in this league, week in, week out. So good luck to you this week. Good luck to you, Wham Bam. I mean, if the game of the week is like the game of the week from last week, man, it's going to be some intense Monday and Sunday night football.
Definitely.
Right? In our next segment, we're going to do. We're going to start out. Well, we're going to actually keep a running tally of our predictions. Mm-hmm. Okay, I know last week you went 3-2-1,
and you as well, 3-2-1.
And so we want to actually start out this week, and we're going to keep rolling of who we pick to win and see who has the best projections between both of us. The first game starting out, we have All Aboard, and All Aboard, who they're playing.
All Aboard this week.
ATL Brady Bunch.
Yeah, ATL Brady Bunch. That's what I was thinking.
Right. And so I guess you can quickly. I'll start it off. All Aboard. I mean, Calvin Johnson. He had LaShawn McCoy. All right, and then don't forget about he has guys on the bench that they're starting. LaShore. Okay, he's just coming in this week. You got Kenny Britt, who's just coming off the injury. You got Michael Crabtree. I mean, he has a lot of guys. I mean, he's just solid, man. But the scary part about it, All Aboard is Calvin Johnson. I don't think he showed up yet.
He hasn't.
So, I mean, he's going to be a tough matchup for ATL's Brady Bunch.
It definitely is. My piece on ATL Brady Bunch, I think it's going to be a solid contest. Brady Bunch really needs Tom Brady to step it up.
That's his team name.
Yeah, he hasn't been giving us what we thought he would going into the season. And if he gets some protection out of him and Julio No-Show, who went 0 for last week, I think he really has a chance to pull out. So my prediction for this game is going to have to be ATL Brady Bunch.
You predict you're going with ATL?
Yeah, I'm going to go with ATL Brady Bunch on this game.
Oh, man. Well, I'm going with All Aboard. I just think ATL, I think they have a pretty strong receiving core, but they got a lot of question marks.
Got some question marks.
But they got a strong core. If their core comes to play, then hey. But I'm going with the All Aboard on that.
Okay.
The next game, we got Coaches Cadets and Houston Hustlers.
Houston Hustlers. I'll start with my piece on the Houston Hustlers. They need to get another solid big week from Eli. Okay, it wouldn't help anybody. If anybody in the continental United States has seen Larry Fitzgerald, please contact this owner. Okay, he's giving him nothing. I want to give you a special shout out for that pickup on Danny. That's a great pickup. Maybe you should just go ahead and take Fitz out and just keep Danny in there.
I have no issue with Fitz being out of commission. I have no issue with it. Just a quick look at my team. I mean, I like to have that same APB out for Darren McFadden. I mean, Darren McFadden had a lot of receptions in the first game, but he's not having any rushing yards. So I would love for him to show up. But other than that, we think we have a solid core, receiving core. We think Tony Romo just had it's a tough play in Seattle. We're expecting big things this week. So who do you got on the game?
I've actually got Houston Hustlers.
I mean, understandable. I mean, I respect your.
It's just tough because they've been on the snide. They've been 0-2 and they played 2 great games. They're just due for a win.
It's not the type of team. I'll be honest with you. It's not the type of team that I would like to play. A team that's hungry and who's playing well is looking for that first week. But you know what? We're gonna be on the practice field. We're early this morning. We'll be back early tomorrow. We're gonna be ready to play.
And no slide at all, the organization. I think you're in a top notch deal over there.
I understand. And in the next game, we're gonna have.
SWAT Kings?
SWAT Kings.
Versus Hendall.
Susie Smackers. What do you got on the SWAT Kings?
Well, actually, I'm going to do my piece on the Hendall Susie Smackers.
Okay.
This game was easy to call for me. I got this squad superior at 9 positions. Okay?
Wow.
That means quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, running back, flex, kicker, defense, special teams. Hendall Susie Smackers is better at every single one of those.
Man.
So I'm thinking.
So you're changing it from last week. He was one of the worst teams in the league. You think he's pretty solid?
SWAT Kings is a struggle. Yeah, I really got a chance to look over his roster. Maurice Jones-Drew stepped it up, and with that injury over there, that put C.J. Sproul in the starting lineup, that changed a lot of things for him. I think he's got definitely a great squad. So I think if he rolls out of bed on Sunday and walks on the game field. He's gonna walk out of there with the victory.
All right. Let's look at the SWAT Kings now. He has a little bit of quarterback controversy. Looks like the only one we have in the league going between RG3 and Vic.
Yeah.
Who do you play? Who do you not play? I mean, RG3's been solid, but at any moment you would like to think that Michael Vick would show up.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, the big question mark with his team to me is full of question marks. Not in a negative way, but just he has a lot. His receiving core is average. You know, Jordy Nelson, Lance Moore, Torrey Smith, but they're big play guys.
Right.
So they could explode. You know, and then his running backs, I mean, CG2K is anyone seen. I mean,
I saw him on the milk carton.
I mean, he's missing. Okay, and then you got Adrian Peterson, who's still a question mark. He had a solid first game, but he's still not going to get 25 carries.
Right.
So I just SWAT Kings is a question mark. Not saying in a negative way, but just it's hard to go with him this game. I'm with you. I'm gonna go with Hen Dog for this game.
So 2 for 2 on Hen Dog City Smackers.
Yeah. In the next game, we got the Albany Puros versus the Boss of All Bosses. All right.
You want to start here, or do you want me to?
I'll start off. I mean, Albany Puros is not much to say, man. I mean, they're a very dangerous football team.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everyone knows that. I mean, they have a lot of explosive guys. I mean, you're looking at Red Rice, Reggie Bush. You're looking at A.J. Green, Peyton Manning. I mean, the Ravens defense. I mean, these guys are very explosive. I think 1 week this season, they could go with 150. Not to mention last week, Antonio Gates was out. D'Angelo Williams woke up. I mean, boss of our bosses, if there's any team that I wouldn't want to play this week, it's going to be the Albany Puros.
Albany Puros are a well-run organization. I have a lot of respect for the owner over there.
Yeah.
He's you know, first class in my book. We could go on and on about the struggles up and down in this lineup of boss of all bosses. But we won't. They've got a chance to win this week in my eyes.
All right.
That chance is strictly from God. If God decides to shine his light down on boss of all bosses, I mean that's the only thing in my eyes that can really help him out. With other than that, he's got no chance in this game in my book.
Well, hey, hope you use this as bulletin board material, boss for all bosses. Please show up, and maybe you're in the dungeon getting work in. We'd like to hear from you at least. All right.
Hang it up. You can put it anywhere you want. I don't think it's gonna have any effect on this game.
All right, and the next game we got They Say Who That versus Team Wood Paws.
I'll take They Say Who That. No, I'm not. That's not my prediction quite
We'll
yet.
We'll go back to the last week. I think we're picking Albany Puros for the last game.
Yeah. Oh. I didn't think that was a question. I don't think we should have to pick on these boss of all bosses games until he cracks 80 points.
All right, understandable. So what we got?
They Say Who That. Any production out of his running backs, and he'll be just fine. Sooner or later, Breeze is going to come out of his shell, and he's going to go back to last season's form. I'm really looking forward to that. Team Wood is also a solid team, but I got to take They Say Who That. They took a tough loss last week to a very good squad.
Yeah, just looking at Team Wood Paws, I mean, he just did the trade. Quarterback is very questionable, Jay Cutler. But he got a receiver. But you think his overall squad is good, but he's injured. He got injured. Is Bradshaw going to play on Thursday? Got an early game on Thursday. I mean, I think he has a lot of question marks too. Is Garcon, is that just a lucky quarter, or is Garcon going to be RG3's number 1 target? Who knows?
You can't count on those 90 yard catches.
You can't count on them. But I think once his team is healthy, with Forte, Sproles, Bradshaw, Jonathan Stewart, Cruz, Jennings, I think they could be really good. But all those guys are hurt. So I'm going to go with you with They Say Who That on that. And then let's go into the last game. We have your team, Ground and Pound, versus Wham Bam. Thank you, Kim. I'll quickly talk about Wham Bam. I mean, they're the best team in the league at the game. I mean, they're 2-0. They're averaging 125 points a game. They don't have to have guys do score to put up over 130. I mean, you got a tall task ahead of you. Like I said last week, if Cam plays well, you got to look out, man. And Cam played well last week. All right?
Yeah. You know, the Ground and Pound organization, they just go ahead and put their hat on and they go to work. Made some lineup changes this week with Ryan Matthews coming back. Really look forward to his production. Getting Hakeem Nicks back in the starting line. He's earned it.
Right.
It's flat up and down, he's earned it. So that's about 20 points that we missed out on last week. So I think anything can happen this week. I won't make a prediction because you know who I'm going with, but I'm
going with Wham Bam. I mean, I think they're rolling right now. No offense to you, but I mean, that train is going right now. I mean, hey, like Al Board said, you better get out of the way. I remember he said that last year. But those are our predictions for this week, guys. I mean, remember, starting next week, we're going to have our RSFFL Rock Stars, which will be our top 5. I'll be contacting you guys who wants to be a part of the Associated Press with that. But hey, good luck this week. Guys, don't, like Lowry says, don't be so salty. If your team wasn't talking favorably about, hey, do something about it on Sunday and Monday and Thursday.
You can change it.
It's very changeable, all right?
Thanks to our partners over there at Lime Marita, Lowry's. Look forward to you guys having a great week. Hope you guys have a great week of practice.
All right, we'll see you on your field in the alley, Houston. See you in the alley, Houston. All right? Have a great week. Oh, it is? All I got to do.